Hi, and welcome back to Nikki Scoops. Now, today I'm covering a story about a 9-year-old girl who got attacked by a rock roller, which is her father's girlfriend. Now, this is like one of the pathetic cases I have seen thus far. And I'm just like, people got to be cautious of who you bring into your life because everyone does not mean any good. There's a lot of bad people out here, and to just bring them around your kids, that's a no-no. But yeah, this happened somewhere in Florida, Lake County, Florida, to Tyshale Elise Martin. She was arrested near her home at 6 p.m. and was charged with first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and child neglect.
This woman beat the little girl and instructed her dog to attack her.
That's a baby. That's a baby. A beautiful little girl not gone.
Of a 9-year-old baby. 9.
9-year-old Jamaria Sessions was found dead in June. Now we know she was tortured and brutally beaten, allegedly by her father's girlfriend, Tishelle Martin.
This is the worst case of aggravated child abuse we've ever seen.
Martin's arrest affidavit says while her other kids watched, she sicked her 103-pound Rottweiler on Jamaria, then kicked and beat her.
There was no reason to hurt my granddaughter.
The home was full of security cameras, which deputies say caught the attacks on video. In one video, Martin is heard saying, "I'm fixing to kill her," according to the affidavit.
The world needs to know evil when they see it, so her picture needs to be everywhere.
The sheriff's office says that was far from the first instance of abuse. Martin is accused of beating her as a form of punishment and making her run with her hands above her head.
I don't have the words to describe it. It's unimaginable and completely inhumane.
So where was Jamaria's father? The sheriff's office says he left the home because he and Martin were fighting. His daughters have lived with each of their grandmothers in the past. Both told me today they want custody of the children. And now they want maximum punishment for the woman accused of killing their granddaughter.
My question has always been and will continue to be, why? Why will you harm a 9-year-old girl? Like, why? Was she an inconvenience to the relationship you had with her father? Was she in the way? Like, I'm not understanding. Was there any signs that she was showing she was being aggressive towards the little girl while the father was there? Like, it has to be something. This is nothing that just blossomed overnight.
And we continue to follow a developing story in Lake County, where a man is now arrested. Deputies say he did nothing to get his daughter out of an abusive home, abuse that allegedly led to her death. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hannah McKenzie.
And I'm John Brown. Lawan Sessions is now charged with aggravated manslaughter. His girlfriend was arrested earlier this week on murder charges. Deputies say that Tyshelle Martin beat the little girl, 9-year-old Jamaria Sessions, and also sicked her 100-pound Rottweiler on the girl multiple times. The sheriff's office called it one of the worst cases of child abuse that they have ever seen. We spoke to the suspect's mother, who is also the girl's grandmother, about her son being responsible, possibly, for the death.
Do I want to see my son in prison behind this? No. But if I have to see him in prison, I'll just do what I can do. My grandchildren are first, and he knows that.
Documents revealed there were several warning signs that the little girl was in trouble.
Fox 35 has learned a Lake County employee is also under investigation for how they handled this case. Marie Edinger explains the timeline of the suspected abuse and how it was overlooked.
Lawan Sessions is now charged with aggravated manslaughter. His girlfriend is charged for his daughter's murder. Arrest reports show that deputies had been out to this couple's home before, and that part of this case comes down to who knew what and when. There were reports about this. In December, a school resource deputy at Grassy Lake Elementary noticed Jamaria and her sister were missing school and requested a well-being check. A deputy went by the house, but the girls were staying with Sessions' mother at the time. Sessions said the younger sister was having trouble adjusting to the new household, so she stayed at her grandparents' house. But Jamaria went back.
But that's not the only call they got.
In March, DCF called the sheriff's office saying they'd gotten an anonymous complaint about Martin possibly mistreating Jamaria's younger sister.
And I can tell you that that call has actually become the subject of one of our open administrative investigations because we have concerns about how our employee handled that call.
That's the same month Jamaria was taken to the hospital with severe bite wounds from Martin's dog. The sheriff's office says there were other calls to DCF about this home, but a couple of them were deemed too vague to follow up on. Fox 35 asked DCF about those calls. The department says they're working on the request. The next time deputies were called to the house, June 2024, was when Jamaria was found dead.
And look at that urn every day, and it won't talk to me. It won't hug me. It won't say, Nana, can we go make biscuits today?
In Lake County, Marie Edinger, Fox 35 News.
Lawan Sessions was booked into the Orange County Jail this afternoon. He will be sent to Lake County to face his charges there.
As a parent, you observe your surroundings and you also observe who's around your child and their actions towards your child and their behavior towards your child. And for him not to be able to see this, because this happened multiple times. This is like not the first time. It was like multiple occurrences that happened over and over again and to the point where she just, got fed up and just ended up killing the little girl. So I'm just trying to understand, like, why was she even left the home alone? Because I know the father could not have been that blind to where he could not see anything. Like, this girl don't like my daughter. Can nobody convince me otherwise? So, and for him to feel comfortable to leave her home with this girl is like blowing me away. And my heart goes out to her and her family and her siblings, and don't nobody deserve to die, regardless if somebody liked them or not. If you don't like a situation, it's best to leave a situation. There's no point of harming anybody in the process. So let's get back to it, y'all.
7. It is a warrant that was issued for 1 count of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated child abuse, and 1 count of child neglect. You indicated that you intended to hire a private attorney. We're waiving appointment of the public defender's office. Is that accurate?
I already have a private attorney.
You have a private attorney? Okay. So he or she will file paperwork letting the clerk's office and the judge know that he or she represents you. I didn't see any paperwork in the court file as of yet, but your lawyer will file that so that the records get updated, and then I'm sure he or she will come to see you. Under Florida Rule of Criminal Procedure 3.131 and Florida Statute 903.046, I am going to leave your bond set at 9. Your next court date is September the 23rd. Any contact with the children is going to be governed by your pending dependency case. So whatever orders are in place in that case are still going to apply. Okay? Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Anything from the state other than what I've said?
No, Your Honor. Good morning. Tom Mazurek on behalf of the state of Florida. There's nothing further from the state this morning.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am. You too.
Well, the man accused of helping his girlfriend torture this 9-year-old girl to death, his own daughter, had the first of what's expected to be many appearances before a judge today. Channel 9's Daryl Matthews spoke to Jamaria Sessions' grandmother about the girl and the arrests. He reports from the Orange County Jail.
When they took him, I knew she did it. And it came true that she did do it. And then he was involved too.
The he and she this grieving grandmother is referring to is this pair, Tyshell Martin and Lawan Sessions. Both were arrested surrounding the murder of 9-year-old Jamaria Sessions. Martin is in jail for neglect, child abuse, and first-degree murder. Sessions for aggravated manslaughter of a child.
You're supposed to protect your kids, and he didn't protect her. He let her down.
I spoke with Althea Chenault at her home, a day after Jamaria's father, Lawan, was arrested for his daughter's death. He was arrested 2 days after his girlfriend, Martin, who deputies say tortured and physically abused Jamaria up until her death back in June.
We miss her, man, and we miss especially the one that's never come up. We never gonna see her again. Last time I saw her was the day you took her from school alive. Next time I saw her in the casket.
It's your Saturday. Chenault says Jamaria loved animals, wanted to be a veterinarian, and was inseparable from her little sister.
She was her sister keeper, because every time you see one, you see the other. That was the sweetest little girl in the world.
The medical examiner ruled Jamaria's death a homicide. Deputies say her father was not believed to be home the night she died, but allowed his girlfriend to abuse her beyond reason, including pinching, dog bites, and often joking about the abuse.
In the house she was in, and when she went to her other grandmother's house, they saw the marks on her and just brushed it off like nothing.
Chenault says for years, signs of abuse were apparent. She says since her daughter tragically died in 2022, she's been back and forth with Child Protective Services to get custody of the girls.
I blame the system, yes I do. CPS and the courts, because if they would have just one person care in their heart about this child and listen to us, what we were saying, she wouldn't be dead right now.
That was Channel 9's Daryl Matthews.